Hey everybody, this is your boy Ceddy Said. It's going down. Cedric Goodman, exit 9, in Brunswick, New Jersey. Today is January 17, 2011. It's Martin Luther King's birthday. And I want to just talk to you about some things concerning his birthday and why I decided to do a YouTube video about it and discuss some of the issues that Dr. King faced during his time in the 50s and 60s, and those who participated in the struggle for us today, that many of us, like you and me, may stand on the shoulders of so many and be able to have the civil liberties that we have today, and be able to do some of the things and achieve and accomplish some of the things we were able to accomplish because of people like a Dr. King, like a Rosa Parks, like a Marcus Garvey, a Malcolm X, or any great leader that changed America, changed the world to make it a better place. So I decided to do a YouTube video because I haven't done one since last month, and just wanted to talk and discuss some issues that I think are important for our dialogue, and to reach out and to try to collaborate with others who may feel the same way, to get their feedback, to get your feedback and to see if the same conditions, the same problems, whether socially, whether politically, whether religiously or spiritually, and definitely economically, still affect us today. So that's what we're going to talk about. My take on it is my view and my perception, and I'm entitled to those views and perceptions, just like you're entitled to your own views and perceptions, and you shouldn't be criticized or hated or discriminated against for those positions and those views that you have. So that's not my focus, and that's not my position. But what my position is to create a dialogue and try to engage people, like-minded people, in a civil debate of the issues facing our community. So don't take anything personal, or I'm not intending to offend anybody. But let's get down to it. All right. My view concerning the struggle of Dr. King, and the question is whether or not his dream is fulfilled, whether or not his dream is a reality, or whether or not his dream is still yet to be determined. Are we still striving? Are we still fighting for those same realities of Martin Luther King's dream? And my take on those things and those issues are quite simply, I think we are. I think we have not achieved some of the aspects of his dream, and some of the sacrifices that so many made on our behalf. Do I think that a lot of the issues and things like that, or dream of his dream, has been accomplished? Yes, I do. Of course I do. But the struggle continues, in my view. We're still advocating. We're still protesting. We're still marching for justice, for economic freedoms, protesting and advocating against discrimination, racism, police brutality, other social issues such as incarceration, black men being incarcerated at an enormous rate, jobs, homelessness, political disenfranchisement, whether or not we have representation in the cities, the counties, the states, and the federal level, to advocate for our interests, to serve our needs like everyone else. So, my view on it is that we have much work to do. We have a lot of work to do, and we cannot continue the course that we're on, and we cannot continue to become, or allow ourselves to become, complacent and feel or think that we have arrived. I don't see that. I see disenfranchisement, I see manipulation, I see exploitation, I see lack of black leadership, I see the elder leadership failing the next generation and younger leadership, or selling them out for financial gain. I see religious leaders who are not true religious leaders. I call them pimps in the pulpit. Okay, because prosperity preaching is nowhere found in the Bible. Jesus was not of that doctrine. Money, 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 richness and bling, bling, and riches and glory and fame. That was not the Jesus that I studied. You know, so I'm in disagreement with that doctrine, and I oppose that doctrine, and I think it's the detriment of the black church. I really do. We have fallen victim to what the scripture states of having our ears tickled to the degree of mere entertainment from the pulpit. If you disagree with me, that's understandable. Well, look around. Are you learning something in church? Is your preacher teaching you something to change your life, to better your life? Or is he preaching pursue materialism through financial means only? Are you studying the scriptures, or are you listening to him while he's hooping and yelling and you clapping your hands and being entertained by the music and the emotions of the church? So those are some issues that we face today. But again, when you talk about Dr. King's legacy and his vision and his dream, look around. We have much work to do, and we are not accomplishing it. Our focus is not even in the same arena. The problems that we're facing, excuse me, are serious challenges. Serious problems. Excuse me. So I want to pose these questions to you. I wanted to give you some insight as to some of my views, some of my reasoning, and to also impose on you to think outside the box. We are all products of our demographics, our areas where we live, where we're born and raised. Our families influence us, impact us, help to shape and mold us into our thinking. But we all also have the ability to think outside the box and not fall victim to tradition. Okay, because if you look back at history and study history, tradition was, in the land of the law of America, was to lynch and castrate the black man. Okay, it was Christians who felt as though we were 3/5 of a people. So be very careful when you follow tradition. Okay, so those ideologies don't repeat itself. And if we pay close attention to what's going on and transpiring today through the political spectrum, the Tea Party is making those same accusations about our history, about blacks and minorities in this country, and they are pressing and drafting legislation to repeal and to eliminate black history out of our books, out of our texts. And this is not this is published, this is fact. These are articles and things that's been posted out there. So you can do the research on the Tea Party ideology. And I don't know much about the Tea Party, but I do know some of the views are very extreme. And whether it's the Tea Party, the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, or any other party, I just want to state publicly that we cannot pursue those types of dialogues or types of policies to reverse the history that so many have sacrificed to make it a reality for so many to stand on the shoulders of today, and myself included. I would definitely not support any type of position that will hurt any people or constituency and bring about a lot of the pain and hurt of their history. So, like the Jews who stand firm to protest, to oppose, and to condemn ideologies that threaten their way of life, I too also stand in unison with those individuals who protest, condemn, and oppose certain oppose certain ideologies. So let that be clear. Okay, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe, and we're not going back and letting others take us there. So too many people have sacrificed and died for my rights, and I'm not interested in giving them up. Okay, so Dr. King's legacy is still yet to be determined, in my view, and I think we have a lot more work to do. And I hope that everyone is learning something about Dr. King and so many others like him who were not like Dr. King as far as to be assimilist who wanted to assimilate into mainstream society. Dr. King was not a revolutionary like others who went about it a certain way, like a Marcus Garvey or Malcolm X or the Honorable Louis Farrakhan or Marcus Garvey and all the great ones, that paved the way. Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Rosa Parks, so many people in our history. We have to continue to respect and pay homage to those people as well. It's very important to teach our children and let them know not to take so much for granted. So, once again, this is Ceddy Said. This is Cedric Goodman coming to you live from New Brunswick, New Jersey. And today is January 17th. It's Martin Luther King's birthday. And I wanted to share and publicly pose my comment and my commentary on what I feel and what I think that is lacking, is needed, and how we can talk about it in dialogue and discuss those issues and try to find some type of solution or develop a plan of action to continue his work and his legacy. So I'm going to do my part here in my city while I'm here, and while God is continuing to guide me in this area, whether socially, politically, religiously, whatever area, and advocate for the type of reform and change that I think we need. So we're not going to let those critics and those who have personal issues with me or with others that support me affect or change our positions or intimidate us. So I just want to send that out to those who think that they have an impact on anybody's views or direction. Just know that as long as you stay on your side of the fence and we stay on our side of the fence, we won't have any problems. Okay, but we're not going to let you distract us from the bigger issues facing our community while we deal with the powers that be, the political powers that be, and the special interest groups, meaning the corporations who control those political powers. So I want to say that I'm willing to work with anybody on any issue that will help in the progress of our community, particularly the African American community. I think the African American community is not represented in so many areas, and we need our next generation to step up in leadership, and for us to assist them and mentor them like I was mentored and I was talked to by some very influential people, and hopefully I can team up with some good people and we can work together on some issues affecting our community. And I want to also publicly state this for the record. Why is it a problem when African Americans want to organize themselves for the betterment of their community? Why is that a problem? I am not the type of person who will just sit back and allow you to define our mission, our agenda, and my personal views on the uplift of our people in our community. So publicly, I'm going to state this: every nationality has a right. Every nationality has its own reasons for developing public policy, influencing public policy, and doing things to better their community and to protect their way of life. So do I. I'm an American. I'm born and raised in America. I'm an African American living in America. However you want to classify that. But I would like for people to understand something. We have a right to self-governance like the next person. So respect our views, respect our positions, respect